Hi, I'm Bryce Crittenden.
Hi, I'm Caroline Land, and welcome back to EPL's Overdue Finds.
Caroline, we're presenting a very special bonus episode of Overdue Finds. We don't get to do this very often. So I'm always up for doing extra episodes of Overdue Finds.
Yeah, and this is why it's important to subscribe so that when we do these bonus episodes, it will show up in your Overdue Finds podcast feed.
Hopefully everybody listened last week as well, where we featured, it was part one, I guess, if you will, of our kids pop culture confession series. So, of course, we have even more today. And today joining us, we're going to have two sets of interviews. First one is going to be with Jack and Declan. And Declan's 13, Jack is 10. And Declan and I, we kind of almost bonded a little bit over our love of the video game Borderlands.
Yeah, bonded and then came across your differences of using different
video game consoles.
That's right. This, just really bringing people together.
That's right. That's what we do here on the show.
Well, and I really liked listening to your conversation with him about kind of the open world video games and exploring and what that experience was like for you, who's been playing video games for a while, and then someone younger. I really like that part of the interview.
Yeah. And then after that, we have an interview as well with three kids, aged 10 to 13, I believe. And, of course, we have Arbor, Penny, and Oscar, and they were all hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. Penny and Arbor are really good friends, and I know that will come through in the interview. They have a lot of shared interests and things they've created together, and it was just great to see them interact.
It was also really fun to see Oscar sitting here as well, because he's the older brother. You can tell he was a little annoyed by some of the answers, but that's okay. As an older brother myself, I get it. Sometimes when, your siblings are saying stuff, all you could do is just roll your eyes and shake your head.
Great. Well, I'll tease this. We asked Penny what her favorite emoji is, and that is, she gives a really great answer. I'm going to ask you right now, Bryce, do you have a favorite emoji?
I do have a favorite emoji. It's the one where it's using the male one, and he's got his hand up on his face, just kind of
like face palm?
Face palm. He's just like, oh God. I use that one a lot.
I love that.
How about you?
Mine is the laugh crying emoji.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Perfect. So without further ado, we present to you the next two interviews. Caroline, we're back.
We are.
These interviews have been so fun.
They've been fun and informative.
Very informative. I'm learning a lot from these interviews. As somebody who doesn't have any kids myself, I'm getting, figuring out, what kids are into these days.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea.
Well, and I was feeling pretty confident because I work in the library and I see kids every day that I'm there and seeing what they take out from the library. But I'm really getting a great window into what people like and what's cool and... Yeah,
so we've got a couple more experts joining us here for this next interview. So we have Jack and Declan joining us. Jack, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
10 years old. Is there anybody you want to say hi to before we get started?
I'd like to say hi to my grandma and grandpa.
Nice. Well, hi, Grandma and Grandpa, if you're listening.
Yeah.
And Declan, how about you? How old are you, and is there anybody you want to say hi to?
I'm 13 years old, and I'd just like to say hi to all my friends and family.
Nice. Hopefully they're listening, and thanks for tuning in for this episode. So one of the questions that we ask everybody on this show before we get started into the interview is we always look for their Overdue Finds picks. So Jack, has there been a recent movie you've watched or book you've read that you think everybody should check out?
I've been reading this book called Jedi Academy. It's about this kid, Rowan, who wants to be a star pilot, but first he has to go through this Jedi school.
Okay. So is there, obviously it's part of the Star Wars universe, and is there any characters from the Star Wars movies that make appearances?
Yoda. It's only Yoda.
Oh, Yoda. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Yoda.
Yoda's pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched Empire Strikes Back recently.
Okay.
And I was surprised at how, annoying Yoda was, but, in a good, he's just not going to give Luke an easy time at all.
No. No.
It's a good annoying and not a Jar Jar Binks annoying.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, it's a funny, like, I like this character.
Yeah.
He's got attitude.
Definitely. So this book, is it part of a whole series, or is it just kind of a one-off book?
It's part of 3 books.
Okay.
The 3 books.
So are you going to read the other ones then?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay, nice. So it's definitely a series that everybody should check out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'll have to read those then. Declan, how about you?
I've been reading this series of books called The Trials of Apollo. It's about the god Apollo who gets sent down from the heavens and turns into a mortal and has to complete challenges and quests to earn his title on the Olympian mountain.
Okay. Yeah, that's a series I've heard of. I don't know too much about it, though, but how many books are in that series?
3 right now, and I think more, maybe 2 to 3 more are coming out.
Okay. Caroline, are those really popular in the branch? Have you
Yeah.
noticed?
Anything that has to do with, like, myths, the Greek or Roman gods are really popular.
I think it's mostly the Rick Riordan because he's a great book writer.
Yeah.
What other books has he written? Just because the name sounds really familiar.
Percy Jackson.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Have you read that book?
Oh yeah, I've read the whole series.
Nice. Like anything he writes,
Anything
you're
he
into.
writes, I'm into.
That's awesome. Good.
Great. Well, we heard that you really like video games. What are some of your favorites?
This one's pretty old, but I got it for my birthday just last month. Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls. I've been playing a lot of it because I like it because it's one of those games where you don't have to do all the quests right away. It's an open world game, so you can choose what you want to do. You can either do the campaign or you can just explore and have fun. It's pretty cool.
Nice. I love games like that. I'm playing one that you probably shouldn't play yet called Red Dead
Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption 2, but
I like that game.
But that same thing though. It's an open world concept, and if I just want to go ride my horse out in the forest or in the mountains, I can go do that.
Yeah.
So that one has like a Western
Yes.
theme? Okay.
Yeah.
What about Skyrim? What world
Skyrim is
that?
more of a medieval theme.
Okay.
It's hard because it's a medieval theme, but it's not really in. It's like a fantasy
different-
medieval. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a different take on medieval.
So what system do you play that on?
PS4.
PS4. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm an Xbox person myself, so that's okay.
Yeah. See, this podcast is bringing people
That's
together.
right. Xbox fans and PlayStation fans coming
Yeah.
together in the love of video
Yeah.
games.
Are there any other games that you really like?
Yeah.
I like Borderlands. So when the PS4 sometimes free games come out, I got Borderlands 2 for free.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of it. It's pretty fun.
I'll be honest with you. I love the Borderlands
I know.
series.
It's
It's
I
awesome,
can't wait
isn't
until
it?
3 comes
Yeah.
out.
Are you gonna get a copy of that?
Oh, yeah,
Once it comes
totally.
out? Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I've got my pre-order in for mine,
Ah,
and
nice.
yeah, it's a really fun game. So
It is.
Caroline's just looking at us.
Yeah,
Like, I have
I've
no idea
never
what this is.
played, but I love that you guys are so excited about it.
Yeah, it's like it's like in an alternate reality. Kind of looks like
Mad Max.
Yes.
I know. I thought that as well.
Yeah, that's what I.
And it's the same drawn graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, it
it
kinda looks
feels
like-
like everything was drawn from a pencil.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a comic book.
Okay.
And it's like Mad Max, but with like monsters, kind of.
Oh.
It's good.
Do you think the psychos the mask kind of looks like the people from Mad Max?
Yeah,
Or-
absolutely.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah, you would have to think that the makers of that game definitely
Oh yeah, they
were
definitely
inspired from the Mad Max series for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Jack, how about you? Is there any video games you really like?
Well, I've been playing a common video game, Fortnite. I like it because you can play with your friends and meet new people online.
Yeah, Fortnite is so popular. It's weird. I'm really into gaming. I've never played it, mostly because I'm afraid of going online and having people like yourself, Jack, just absolutely destroy me within like the first 2 minutes of stepping into a battle royal or whatever. Do you get to like create your own character in that game then?
It's a free game, but you can buy your own skins.
Okay.
You can also make your own world in creative and I guess invite friends and play with them.
That's how they hook you with those games. They're free, but then it's like, oh, well, you can use this basic character. Or you can spend a little bit of money and look like this.
And
And
you
it's
can get
awesome.
a hat.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. Or a new dance move.
Yeah. So right now we're right in the middle of summer vacation. Jack, what kinds of things do you like to do in the summer?
I like to build things out of cardboard and Lego and play soccer and just hang out with my friends and family.
Sounds good. So going back
That
to
sounds like a fun summer.
I'm making some notes on
Yeah.
here for like how to
Cardboard,
amp up my
Legos,
day.
yeah.
So what kinds of things do you like to build?
Well, out of cardboard, I made a gas mask. I built a pinball machine.
Out of cardboard?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Out of Lego, I like to build guns, shootable guns.
That sounds like really fun.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to build a pinball machine out of cardboard?
It was pretty hard because, like, it got annoying after a while because the cardboard wouldn't stand up in, like, the slant when I would put the base down.
Yeah.
So it got really annoying, but I managed to do it.
That's awesome. I don't think I could do that.
No, I know I couldn't.
I would just fall apart immediately.
I have a very hard time cutting in a straight line, so I feel like that would be a hindrance for making things.
Declan, how about you? How do you like to spend your summer?
I mostly like to spend it with friends. A good part of it is also reading and sleeping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I've been doing a lot of lately. So tired.
I'm making a note of that as well.
That's also a great way to spend the
Yeah.
summer, reading and sleeping.
Yeah. So what kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read fiction and fantasy.
Jack, how about you?
I like to read graphic novel books, again, like Jedi Academy, and funny books.
So this came up on the last episode we were talking about graphic novels. Do you like, just because they're everywhere, like all the big movies, are you a big superhero fan too?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Some of them aren't that
Interesting.
funny.
No,
some of them like
yeah.
it. They take it very
Yeah,
seriously.
way too seriously.
Yeah.
So Jack, one of the things that we've talked about on this podcast, mostly myself, has been that I have terrible taste in music. So I'm looking for some new music recommendations.
Yeah, there's this band called 21 Pilots, and it's all, like, there are no swears in the music, and the guys just have good taste in music.
Nice.
Now, are there 21 guys in the band?
They're just two.
Oh, okay. So there's two
Yeah.
guys.
I'm sure
It's just the name of the...
Okay.
I'm sure there's an interesting story at how they came up with the name 21 Pilots, but
I'm not sure about this, but it used to be like one group of people started it, and then as time went on, other people took their place, and it's just been going on and on.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know for
Yeah.
sure, but I think I've heard that somewhere.
What does their music sound like?
It's kind of like a pop music, but there is some like rapping, and
Okay.
it's pretty cool. It's rock and pop.
Okay.
together. It's pretty cool.
We'll check that out. Yeah.
like that. So Declan, how about you? Besides 21 Pilots, is there anybody else you like?
Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
I like
okay.
his music. I just like pop music in general. Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, all those people.
Shawn Mendes, his songs get stuck in my head, and then it's like 3 days later, and I'm still humming along to it. It's very catchy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, pop music's great to listen to. When I'm at work, I love having music playing in the background, and most of it's
Just get into that rhythm.
yeah, exactly. No, it's nice to have on in the background as you do stuff anyway.
Is there any song that you've been hearing everywhere?
Yes.
What's that?
Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Okay.
I don't know if I've heard that. I
really
probably
good.
have, but yeah. What type of, is it rap or pop?
No, it's pop, but like she does it in a really cool way. She like uses her like talking voice for some of the parts, and it's not really a singing voice. In the line she says like bad guy, but she says it in her normal voice, so it's like really scratchy. It's really cool.
Nice. That sounds good. I have to check that out. Sounds like it's like the song of the summer then if it's being played
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
everywhere. So general question. This is I think my favorite question that we've asked in this series so far. So Jack, is there anything that's really popular right now that maybe you're just not into? You don't really get what the big deal is with it.
This one song called Old Town Road. I don't like it too much, but a lot of my friends really like it. And also hockey. Like, I'm more
Hockey.
of a soccer fan.
Okay. That's got to be tough. Like I'm a big hockey fan myself, but I can definitely see how that can be frustrating just because it's like everybody loves hockey, and if you're not really into it as much, I can definitely see why that would be a little bit annoying anyway. But at least it's the summer. Soccer is really popular right now, and soccer seems to be getting like more popular here in Canada all the time. So that's got to be really encouraging.
Yeah. You mentioned you play soccer. Do you have a favorite soccer team? that you follow?
Well, we don't have a TV, so we can't watch soccer, but in the World Cup, I cheer for Portugal because I'm Portuguese, and I Real Madrid, or now Juventus because of Ronaldo.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Is there anything that you're really into then that maybe your friends aren't really as big into?
I guess soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer? Yeah. All right. So Declan, how about you? So is there anything you're just like, I don't get it. Why is this popular?
Tennis.
Tennis.
All my friends love playing it. I just don't get it. I like badminton. I like soccer. I like hockey. But I don't get it. It's that one sport, whenever you play it, you just get too hot and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of running.
There is.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think at one point when I was a kid, I tried to get into tennis, and same thing. I was just like way too much running, and it was way too hot out here.
Yes. Especially in Edmonton.
Yeah, definitely. But tennis is also another sport similar to soccer where there's a lot of Canadians coming up that are really great on the pro tour. So I can definitely see why some kids are starting to get into it now. Is there something, though, that maybe your friends aren't into as much that you absolutely love?
For the last times I've been hanging out with my friends, I've been trying to get them to play hacky sack. They've tried, but they just don't get how to play it.
Okay.
They don't like it. I don't know why. It's pretty fun.
So I'm really excited because now we're into something I know about, which is hacky sack, which was very popular when I was in school.
Me too.
And it's making a comeback.
I don't know.
You're trying to make
I'm trying
to have it make a comeback.
Slowly, grassroots level,
Yeah.
all these kids are going to be hitting around the hacky sack. So,
Yeah.
too, when I was in, I think it was maybe junior high or high school, hacky sacks came back and were really cool. And I think my parents were like, oh, hacky sacks are a thing again? So, yeah, it's this weird cycle with hacky sacks. Yeah. We're almost done here. And we have a couple quick, fun roundtable questions we always like to ask our guests. So, Jack, if you could meet anybody in the world at all, who would it be and why?
Probably Ronaldo, because I'd want to play soccer with him and kick around a ball because he's my favorite soccer player.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun, actually. Declan, how about you?
I'd like to meet the Duffer brothers because I would like to see how they make Stranger Things and what caused them to have the idea to make Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, I love that series. Have you watched all 3 seasons so far?
We're in the middle of the 3rd season.
Okay, nice. You're
exciting.
enjoying it so
Oh,
far?
yeah.
Are you a big Stranger Things fan?
I've seen
I don't
the
think it's come up on the show
First
much.
season.
Yeah.
I meant to watch the second season, and then all of a sudden there was a third
I
season.
know.
So I have a little bit of catching up to do, but I really like how they weave in different kind of movies and different things from the 80s that just all create this atmosphere that's kind of spooky, but also at times funny, but then also weird.
Definitely. Yeah, I can definitely see some It woven in there and Stand By Me and all these.
Oh,
really
yeah,
fun.
I noticed the It part.
So, Declan, we'll start with you on this one. Let's say that you could go anywhere at all for summer vacation. Where would you go?
Well, in Portugal, there are these really nice beaches, and I really like to go there for a nice 2 weeks or something.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, but I was like 3.
Okay. And you don't remember that at all?
No. So we're actually going there again in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be fun.
Nice. Well, that sounds like a great vacation.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be very relaxing.
Yeah. Jack, how about you?
Well, I guess I was going to say Portugal, but
Anywhere else?
Brazil, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So why would you like to go to Brazil?
Because I just like to see rainforests and
Yeah.
go to one.
It's a good place.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be
Oh.
great. So this is actually the first interview we've done where the Babysitters Club hasn't been brought up.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read the
okay.
Babysitters?
I've read the Babysitters
Okay.
Club.
Nice.
I
That's
totally
good.
forgot about that. It's been like
No,
a year.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bryce is teasing me because I am a big fan of the Babysitters Club.
Ah.
A lot of people have been reading the graphic novels by
yeah.
Raina Telgemeier. Have you read those?
Yes, I've read those.
Yeah.
You like the series then?
Oh, yeah, I like the series. It's like I read them in grade 6, though.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good series about
Oh, yeah.
girls having fun,
Yeah.
being friends,
I clearly
sitting
need to.
some babies.
Yeah, clearly need to read this series because everybody's been recommending it so far.
Yeah.
So
But it was so good to have you both here to talk to us today. Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. And we have a very giggly bunch
I'm
with us
so
in
excited.
here today.
I just want to jump right into the questions.
Me too. Yeah, because the giggles I can see want to come out. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
So before we get started with the questions, so what I'm going to have you do is introduce yourself and let everyone know how old you are.
My name is Arbor, and I am 10 years old. I'm Penny, and I am 10 years old as well.
My name is Oscar, and I'm 12.
Thanks for joining us today. Is there anybody you guys want to say hi to before we get started?
I would like to say hi to my dog, Nellie, and all of my friends at West Glen, and some of my buddies, Penny, Ivy, and Ruby. I'd like to say hi to my dog, Sadie, and my friend, Ivy.
Nice. Oscar, you want to say hi to anybody?
I'll say hi to my mom and my dad.
Nice.
I just have some follow-up questions on these dogs. So
Yeah.
what kind of a dog is Nellie?
She's a Wheaten Terrier, and right now she's only like a 1 year old, except on April 19th she's turning 2.
Okay.
Nice. Penny, how about your dog?
My dog is a Labradoodle, and she's black, and she just got a haircut, so she's super soft. And also, her birthday was August 1st.
Okay.
Okay, well, happy birthday to and it was Sadie?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sadie.
Yeah, we should definitely give more shout outs to dogs on this
I
show.
think so. We should have like a recurring segment.
Absolutely. Highlight a different dog in Edmonton, maybe.
Yes. If you're a dog and you're listening, let us know when your birthday is.
Yeah. I also love the fact, too, that I hope that the dogs actually listen to this episode. Maybe they're home by themselves and just need something on in the background to keep themselves occupied.
Yeah, they got that. They got the computer. They'll send us an email.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
So before we get into the really hard-hitting questions that you're here for, we want to get your Overdue Finds picks. So Arbor, we're going to start with you. Do you have a recent movie that you've watched or TV show or book that you can recommend for all listeners to check out?
Well, I recently got the CD for the Teen Titans Go to the Movies from the library, and me and my sister watched that. And I also, like just a few days ago, got the Lego Movie 2, and I rented it, and me and my sister and my dad watched that. And then for books, I like that I've recently read. I've recently kept on reading again some Phoebe and Her Unicorn books, and I really like the Land of Stories series.
Cool.
I've read the whole series 3 times.
Wow. So was it Phoebe and Her Unicorn?
Yes.
So obviously it's about Phoebe and her unicorn, but what kind of adventures
Where does it go
do they get
from
into?
there?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of about how Phoebe, she once skipped a rock when she was mad on a lake, and it bonked a unicorn. And the unicorn was very she loved herself a lot. And so she was gazing at herself in the water, and so she granted Phoebe one wish for helping her look away from the water. And Phoebe's wish was for the unicorn to become her best friend. And then after that, it's basically all about how the unicorn really helps her in some ways and ruins her life in some ways.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be pretty hard having a unicorn.
Yeah. Now, Penny, have you read these books too?
Yeah. I'm reading the 4th book, but I also read the 6th book.
So do you have a recent movie or book that you can recommend?
I like Spider-Man Far From Home.
Sorry, I think we may have just had the very first Overdue Finds scoop here.
I love it.
Oscar's, you can't see him obviously, but
that was an amazing
Oscar's
reaction.
sweating right now because he's like, that was my Overdue Find.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. Bryce, I know you recently saw it.
Yeah.
I also recently saw it. And what did you think of it?
It's the best movie.
Yeah?
my favorite.
It made no sense to me because I haven't watched Captain Marvel or Avengers Endgame.
I can see how that
Yeah.
would
But I
not.
think it's mostly Captain Marvel that I have to see.
Yeah, if you watch Avengers Endgame, if you hadn't seen that movie, I
Yeah.
can definitely see why it might be, you're probably missing some stuff there.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
then I understood, I guess. Yeah.
And Oscar, what did you think of it?
It's obviously my favorite movie. I'm a big Marvel fan,
Yeah.
so it was kind of confusing at the beginning part, and then they found that weird projector thing, and it all made sense.
So had you seen the other Spider-Man movie then? Or
I've
Avengers
seen-
Endgame?
I've seen every Marvel movie apart from Iron Man 3, Captain America: The First Avenger, and The Incredible Hulk.
Okay. You know what? The Incredible Hulk's kind of underrated. A lot of people kind of
Really?
forget that it's part of the Marvel universe.
This is the limb you're going out on?
Yeah, I don't think it gets enough love.
Okay.
But I get it. There's a different actor playing the Incredible Hulk. But so yeah, when you watch it, you're like, that's the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Why
it's
is
just a
Ed
different
Norton
actor.
here?
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, but I like the character of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character from the Marvel movies?
Spider-Man.
Obviously, because that's your favorite movie. And then, yeah, it was good. I liked it. I like him when he's with his friend Ned. They're just really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than Spider-Man Far From Home, Oscar, is there something you want to recommend to our listeners?
I forget. It was a book I read. I don't remember the name.
So,
Was it the 5 Worlds or something?
Oh yeah, that one. That one's good.
so what's it called? 5 Worlds?
5 Worlds.
Okay, so what's that one
It's
about?
about these sand dancers and this one girl. There's these beacons they have to light, and only 2 people have this eternal flame, and they're the only 3 people, and there's only they're the only ones that can light this beacon that's supposed to turn this big planet into a sun and save all the planets.
Nice. So is that part of a series then?
Yeah.
Or have you read all of the books in the series?
There's only 2
Okay.
out currently.
Yeah, nice. So if a third one comes out, you're going to be all over that
Yep.
then? Good.
Great. Okay, let's get into our questions
Yeah.
here. First one, question for Penny. Do you have a favorite emoji?
Well, yeah, I like the unicorn emoji, the rainbow emoji, the rainbow flag emoji, and the poop emoji.
And you have a rainbow poop,
Hat, and a poo stuffy.
and because your mom sent us a picture of you with this hat, and you said that she said yes, you really do wear that out in public.
Yeah.
So if you're going out to like a nice restaurant or something, do you throw on the rainbow poop emoji hat?
Well, I haven't worn it very recently because I was at a camp with Arbor and other friends, and then we went to Tofino.
Oh, okay.
So that's where this
Yeah.
came from.
Nice. You're like, I'm going to put on my extra fancy hat for this lunch.
Yeah, good. But I like that. So unicorns, rainbows.
But then,
Yeah.
the rainbow poop emoji, from what I think, it's not an actual emoji because it's not on like your device
Right.
or anything when you like text people.
Just the standard poo emoji is there. Yeah. Would you like to see an actual rainbow
Yes.
poop emoji on the phone?
And then it should have like sparkles around it.
That'd be pretty good if it was like animated. So if you texted it to somebody, it just sparkles come shooting out of it.
Cool.
No, if you tapped it, there's just like a volcano of sparkles.
So, Oscar, your mom mentioned that you really like video games. So what are some of your favorite games you like playing?
There's a game called Brawl Stars and the Marvel Spider-Man.
Okay. So, Brawl Stars. So I don't think I've heard of that game. Where do you play that on?
It's a mobile game created by Supercell. They've made a lot of changes, and it's like you pick this brawler, character. Then you jump into arena. There's 3v3s, like duos, and then it's like kind of like Showdown's one of the game modes, like the main game mode I play. It's like 10 people get put in the game, and then you just fight it out. Last one standing wins.
Nice. So is it like kind of like you have to play a card to do a move, or do you just make your moves on your phone?
You make your moves on your phone because it's like you move with one joystick thing and then you aim and attack with the other.
Okay, that sounds pretty neat. And then the Spider-Man game, is that the one for PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't played that one yet, and I mentioned on the last episode I actually have an Xbox, not a PlayStation, but that Spider-Man game, that was one where I almost bought a PlayStation just to play it. Some of the clips I saw, it looks like when you're Spider-Man, you're swinging throughout the city, you can take like selfies of yourself, right?
Not selfies, but you can take pictures of like buildings and stuff.
Yeah. And is it like an open world game? You can kind of do whatever you want in it?
Yeah, but like you're only in New York,
Okay. So that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I still need to buy that PlayStation.
It's come up a few times.
Yes.
So yeah. Arbor, in the email, there were lots of things that you're interested in, but one of them was that you love having sleepovers with your friends. What kind of things do you do for fun at sleepovers?
Well, one of my favorite hobbies is taking birdhouses and painting them and decorating them to make fairy houses. And so normally before sleepovers, me and my mom go to like Dollarama and buy a bunch of birdhouses, and then me and my friends paint them and then decorate them. And yeah, and then I also like, me and my friends also like, well, usually we do this. Normal people watch movies on sleepovers. So normally we watch a movie, and the last movie we watched the last movie we watched for a sleepover was Ramona and Beezus, and we were at my friend Kendall's house. And it was probably like my third time seeing it because I own it, except Penny and Kendall I don't think saw it, and so we decided to watch it.
Is that the movie with Selena Gomez is in it?
Yes.
Is that the one I'm
believe
thinking
so.
of? Okay.
Yeah, she's Beezus. Yes.
And Caroline, have you read the book?
Yeah, I have. I like that you like went right to like, okay, she's not cool enough to have seen the movie, but Caroline would have read the books. And you are correct. I did. I love the Ramona books by Beverly Cleary. So I will have to check out the movie though. I haven't seen the movie.
Yes. So do you have a pretty big collection then of these birdhouses that you've painted from various sleepovers?
I also have a bunch of I also like to take tiny sticks and stuff that I find, and with my auntie at her house, I use her hot glue gun, and I like to make little chairs, little tables, and basically, I really like fairies, and so everything you could imagine a fairy would need to live.
Well, yeah, they would
little
need
beds.
Yeah, they would still need to sleep and have a table to eat.
They've got
dinner
needs.
at.
Yeah,
Definitely. Penny and Arbor. Arbor, you mentioned this earlier too, that you both like the Land of Stories. So could you tell us a little bit more about that series, because it's come up actually in a past episode?
Well, it's about...
Don't spoil it. I'm on the second book. So she spoiled a lot of things for me.
I'm telling the first book. So
Okay,
it's about a boy and a girl, two twins, that their grandma they really like fairy tales, and their grandma gives them this book, and so and then they fall into it, and it's a portal to the Land of Stories. And the Land of Stories is where fairy tales are real. So there's the Northern Kingdom where Queen Snow White
And then there's the
Prince. I don't remember. It's Prince Chance Charming, Prince Chase Charming,
Prince Charlie Charming, Prince.
The Charming Family.
Yeah,
They come from the Charming Kingdom, which is where Cinderella lives with her baby named Hope.
Oh.
Except that there's
and
an
he also-
enchantress that
in the second book there's an
enchantress that they're trying to stop with their friends, Alex and Connor, which are the twins, they're trying to stop the Enchantress with their fairy tale friends, and then the Enchantress wants to take over both worlds, the fairy tale world and our world. So she needs to make a spell to make a portal to get into our world.
Yeah, I think you've definitely said enough to get people interested in, because now I want to know.
Yeah, me too.
If she can get this portal.
Yeah, and the Charming family, there has to be, like, I'm obsessed with the Charming family.
Well, there's like different kingdoms.
There's the Corner Kingdom. The map yesterday.
There's the Northern Kingdom, the Eastern Kingdom, the Charming Kingdom, the Corner Kingdom, and because it makes sense once you read it, because Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella, they all marry Prince Charming. Oh. And so it makes sense that there would be 3 different Prince Charmings.
I never thought of that before, but yeah that does make sense.
And then...
Now, you mentioned a map. Is there a map of all these places?
In the first and second book,
there's a fold-out map. That's
because there's a second one. There's another one in the second book.
Well, there's 6 books.
Do you have to reference the map quite a bit? Do you flip it open?
Yeah.
This is where
I would.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because they have because on the map there's a bunch of trails and stuff and bridges where you can guess where they're going over the bridges, and lakes, you can guess which lake they fell into.
Right. Yeah. Well, in the second book, it's newer because a lot of stuff happens in the first book, so you need to see what.
Oh, right. Updated.
The kingdoms' names get changed. Yeah. Only one of the kingdoms' names get changed.
Dang, I should have watched The Lord of the Rings while you guys were doing that.
So, Oscar, we hear that you tell very funny jokes.
We heard this from several people.
Yeah, several EPL staff members are like, you need to have Oscar on the show.
Yeah.
Because he has awesome dad jokes. So do you write your jokes yourself, or do you just kind of hear them from friends or see them on the internet?
A bit of all 3.
Yeah.
And he has a dad joke app. He did.
No, I did. They were all not good.
You're like, I can come up with better jokes than this.
I just discovered that on some kinds of popsicles, they have jokes on the stick.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know this. I guess I was not buying the correct brand of popsicle.
Jeez.
But I'm eating it, and I look, and it's so I brought one not a popsicle, a joke, but where does a polar bear keep his money?
In a snowbank.
In a snowbank.
In a snowbank.
That's pretty good.
So we talked a little bit about movies earlier, but are there any other movies that you really like or that you've watched a ton of times?
I like the Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Don't spoil it.
Spoilers.
And funny, too. And I also like the 2 Home Alone movies. So that's for Christmas.
Did you know that there's more than 2 Home Alone movies?
No.
There are 2 good Home Alone movies.
Yeah, I'll save you a lot of time. Don't check them out, but the first 2, those are the ones you got to stick with. So if you see Home Alone 3 or something like that on TV, you can just skip right past it. Kevin McAllister is not in it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So weird.
I have a lot of thoughts about Home Alone.
Penny, how about you?
I don't like movies really. I like to watch shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
What kinds of shows do you like?
I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
But then I also like Sugar Rush. It's on Netflix. It's just, every episode have different people on it, except for the judges. It's where there's a pastry chef named Adriano Zumbo, and then there's Candace Nielsen, I think, and then she has the world's first only cupcake bakery called Sprinkles. And then there's Adriano Zumbo, which he's one of the most celebrated chefs in Australia.
And is that the same person from Zumbo's?
Yes.
just desserts?
Yes, I've watched that like a million times as well.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
Yeah.
So, so are you a big fan of baking shows then?
I like to bake as well. Me and my dad made macarons on Monday, I think.
It was sometime recent.
And how did they turn out?
Yeah.
We make macarons quite a bit, and they turned out okay because we haven't made them in a while. And for my birthday, my mom got, since me and my dad's birthdays are pretty close together, she got me and my dad a macaron baking class at the Duchess Bakery.
Oh.
And so I wore my poop hat there.
Good.
Nice.
And we were the only two who have ever made macarons before. It was the kid and the dad.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And apparently it's hard to get in.
I would think
Yeah,
it's pretty popular.
It's hard to get in even on like the weekend if you want to go and grab a treat. It's very popular there.
It's huge lines. But then their bakery, it's not actually in their shop.
I just assumed the bakery was in the back.
There's like a huge table. It's like as long as this room, and it's like as wide as it as well.
Wow.
Or longer.
It's a big table.
Yeah.
Oscar, how about you? Do you have certain kind of movies or TV shows you like to watch?
Well, I already said Far From Home. That's still in theaters. So I guess Stranger Things. I haven't watched it all, but it's good.
How many seasons? So have you watched the latest third season, or have you just seen the first two?
I've just seen the first one. I started watching it very recently.
Nice. I have to admit, I also have only watched the first season as well. So, but yeah, I really like it. Do you like kind of like the 80s setting of it?
Yeah, their haircuts are strange.
There's a lot of questionable clothing choices as well, isn't there? Yeah.
I've glanced over and I'm just like, what's happening?
Yeah, there were a lot of times I didn't really know what was happening.
Oh, it's because I don't watch it.
Oh.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's a hard show to explain.
It is,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, general question to everyone. Is there anything that you really like that your friends just aren't into, Arbor?
Well, I don't like shirts that have like phrases on them or pictures, like iron-on stuff. And I also have celiac disease, so I don't like gluten.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. So you're not a big fan of the shirts with like logos on them? You just like plain clothes?
Yeah.
You would hate all of my t-shirts then. I'll say that. I've lots of t-shirts with logos, a lot of sports team stuff. So I have a feeling if you looked in my closet, you'd be like, no, none of these will do. You need to get a whole new wardrobe. I mean,
They probably wouldn't fit either.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
If she was cleaning out your closet, gotta go.
Oh yeah, there would be lots of gotta goes. My wife is like that too. She looks in my closet and she's like, gotta go. A lot of disapproving looks.
How about you, Penny? Is there anything that you like that your friends don't, or that your friends love but you're not into?
I like baking a lot, like a lot. She's like, she sort of likes it, I guess.
I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It takes practice.
And I don't do it a lot.
And then my friends are like, I don't know really.
I mean, you have people come over like every day. Hey, let's bake something
Okay,
that we
then.
don't have ingredients for, but let's just replace it. Sugar, we don't have that. Let's just use salt.
No, that's never happened and will never happen. Okay, then,
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good substitute for sugar at all.
No.
I guess then. But like all my friends play piano.
That's okay. Like
Yeah.
if you're
Well, yeah, I
Just
play
sing too.
piano. We go to the same teacher as well.
Oh.
She was right after me every lesson.
It's solo classes. So.
Yeah.
So Oscar, yeah, how about you?
Pokemon. Me and my friend, we're the only two, like, in our whole grade that like Pokemon.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember when Pokemon first became really popular. This was in like the late 90s, so way before you guys were born.
Wait, Pokemon was...
In the 90s?
Yeah. It's been around for quite a while, actually. So Pokemon's weird because it kind of goes in these waves where it's popular, then you don't hear about it, and then it pops back up again. So were you really into like the Pokemon Go app? No,
that was terrible.
that was terrible. It was funny because I remember when that app first came out.
It was so addicting that people were playing it and then like crashed and like...
Yeah. But it was funny because I remember that first week going out on my lunch break and walking around downtown, and it was just a sea of adults on their phone trying to like play it. It was crazy. Yeah. So do you collect the cards then, or do you play it on like say Nintendo Switch?
I used to collect them. I do want the Nintendo Switch for Pokemon Sword and Shield that's coming out, but
I guess I could buy it. And then you could suffer from me playing. That'd be mean though.
I play on my DS. I have which ones? Platinum, Black, Soul Silver, Moon, X. I think there's one more.
Y.
No, I don't have Y.
Oh.
X and Y are the same game, just X is better.
Have you seen the Detective Pokemon movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It's
sorry, thank you. Yeah.
Alright, it's alright, but like
I don't
kinda
the ending though. It's just like why does the Pokemon have to be like the body is into the Pokemon and the Pokemon is like I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I think we probably need to put a big spoiler warning in there, though. That's okay.
Oh, then spoiler alert!
Yeah, we'll put that right at the top of all of these episodes.
That spoiler alert, by the way, that Penny just said, we should almost have that as a permanent clip on the show. Just whenever somebody's going to be...
Good.
Yeah.
I've been telling you, Bryce, I want a soundboard that I can press with sound effects.
We're going to have to do that now.
I can be the sound effect.
Yeah, we'll just have Penny.
Yeah, come in for every recording.
And we'll do some sound effects.
Definitely. All right, so we're almost done here. We're into our roundtable questions. Oscar, we're going to start with you this time. If you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Tom Holland, because all my friends love him. And if I got a picture with them, they'd all be so jealous. It'd be hilarious.
Would be. Tom Holland, of course, is Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think there'd be a lot of people jealous if you got to take a picture of Tom Holland, for sure.
He seems like he'd be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he'd be down for some pictures.
Penny, how about you?
Well, there's quite a few people that I would choose. But in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's this dog named Cheddar.
Yeah.
I would like to meet him because he is like in the show his owner is the captain of the police squad, and so he's like they shake hands just like pristine grip. That's my doggy.
Firm grip, pristine coat.
Pristine coat. You betrayed me. You will return to my office and explain later.
Cheddar is pretty great.
Yeah, I love the corgis.
I would meet Cheddar.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Arbor, how about you?
I would be saying Alex and Connor from the Lime Stories because they're not really real. So I'm saying Chris Colfer.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wrote the Lime Story series, and I would ask him why he's not writing any more books.
Oh.
Because without any more Lime Stories books, I'm kind of just rereading them over and over.
So you need him to like hurry up, and so Chris Colfer was listening right now. He'd be like, "Come on, finish your next book."
Yep.
Yeah, that's our message.
If Chris Colfer is listening, come on.
Finish.
Yeah, there you go.
Stop listening to this podcast.
That's right.
Write some more books.
Yeah.
Tell your dogs about our podcast.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in the book Hugger
Hooker's Guide.
There it says that there was gonna be like 9 books or something.
Yeah, he wanted there to be 9 books, but then he decided he would just make them because he was planning on making 9 books, except there would only be like that big. But then
that makes sense.
But then he decided like, I'll just write really big books and get them done.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll think of some more stories, and there'll be like some more ones coming. So our last question: let's say that you can go anywhere for summer vacation. Where would you like to go, Oscar?
Can it be fictional?
Yes.
Sure.
Hawaii. It's not fictional.
I was about to say. Actually, spoiler alert. Yeah. You can go to Hawaii.
I love it. Just making sure you understood the parameters and then coming in with the answer.
Throw us a curveball.
And what would you like to do in Hawaii?
Go scuba diving.
Can I come?
No.
Okay.
So Penny, you got to go. If you got to go on like your own vacation somewhere, where would you go?
France.
France. All that baking there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Arbor, how about you?
Well, I just realized that I have 2.
Okay.
One would be to the Land of Stories to meet Alex and Connor and all of their friends. Maybe. And then the other one would be to like a kennel, and I would play with all of the doggies.
I like that the one is like very achievable, and then the other will take some magic.
Yeah. There's like several places here in Edmonton you could probably go right now.
Yeah.
And play with dogs
But it's good.
Yeah.
Dog laughter.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you all so much for being with us today. Bryce, I know that we've learned a lot about a lot, and it's been really fun talking with you all.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Caroline, those are all great once again. I think we've interviewed some future podcasters.
And probably future repeat guests on this podcast.
Definitely. The one thing we talked about it in that episode where Penny mentioned spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
I think that has to be a new soundbite on the show where if we're going to talk about something that's been out there a while, I think we just blast Penny's voice on the show.
Yeah, because we do go in depth on books and movies and different things, so it's good to give that warning. I really like that in both of the interviews there was a sense of like the making and creating. So there were some overlap with video games and movies and other things, but in different ways, whether it was the creating their own pinball machine.
Yeah, the cardboard, that's crazy.
Or the fairy houses out of bird houses.
Yeah.
Like, I just love that there's this creativity and they're finding a way to create something with that.
Mm-hmm. I also thought it was really neat too. Penny was talking about she loves baking, and then in our episode last week with Ophelia, she also mentioned that too. So I think that's fantastic. Kids are getting into baking, and they love baking shows. I think we can thank Netflix and YouTube almost for that.
Yeah. So we want to give a big thank you to all of the kids, Jack, Declan, Penny, Oscar, and Arbor for being part of our interviews. And we also want to thank their parents for supporting them being on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our next episode will be available on Friday, August 30th, and we will have a special guest joining us. Bryce, can you let everyone know who we'll be talking to?
So we're going to be interviewing Dr. Chris Nowinski, who will be coming to Edmonton for our next Forward Thinking Speaker Series presentation on September the 17th. You'll hear his incredible story about how he went from being a WWE wrestler to co-founding the Concussion Legacy Foundation, where they work to solve the sports concussion crisis through education and research. We're really excited to be interviewing him. I know we both have totally different sets of questions we're going to ask him, Caroline. You're coming at from the more responsible route of asking him about sports concussions, and I'm going to do my best not to bombard him with wrestling related questions.
I think it's really good to have that balance of it. Like, that's what we bring. I don't think I've talked too much about it on the podcast, but I have been recovering from a concussion for most of this year. I had a fall at the end in December of last year, and I was just really surprised when I started treatment for it, of what was known and what wasn't known about concussions, and what some of the science is and how it's different. And just really, I'm really looking forward to hearing from him about the work that he does, and the work that the Concussion Legacy Foundation does as well.
Yeah, no, it's they're doing great work there, and yeah, we're really excited to be sharing his story with all of you next week.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you haven't yet, we encourage you to subscribe so that you automatically get new episodes, including bonus ones like the one you're listening to today. Please also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and tell a friend about the show.
Yeah, and don't forget that we'll have a link to all of the great recommendations from our special guests today in our show notes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.